Before we kick off today's episode, we have a short message. Audience engagement is of huge importance for us.
Absolutely. Each like or comment is more than just a number. It triggers algorithms on platforms like Spotify and YouTube to recommend our podcast to new listeners.
But beyond the algorithms, how does hearing from listeners in the comments actually shape the direction of our episodes?
Listener feedback is a goldmine. It's almost like having a focus group built right into our community.
So, for those tuning in, your voice truly does guide our journey. So, if you could do us a huge favor, don't forget to like and subscribe.
And leave comments. What did you like in today's episode? What didn't you like? Any ideas for new topics?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Welcome back, True Crime Gourmands. Today, we're serving up a unique blend, chilling tales of infamous killers paired with Chloe's decadent treats. Chloe, what sweet creation are we matching with terror tonight?
Tonight, Alex, we're whisking up the fluffiest blueberry pancakes you've ever tasted. They're the perfect comfort food as we journey into the darkness of 1980s Los Angeles. Trust me, these pancakes are almost criminally good.
Pairing horror and indulgence is quite the balancing act. Why do you think food and true crime make such an oddly satisfying combination for listeners, Chloe?
It's the contrast, Alex. Sweetness and fear heighten each other. As you recount the macabre, I offer something warm and familiar, the sensory comfort of food, which makes the story more palatable, yet even more unsettling.
Let's dig into the recipe's foundation and Ramirez's. Chloe, what are the critical ingredients for your killer pancakes?
Every masterpiece starts with a base, all-purpose flour, sugar, salt, baking powder, and baking soda. One misstep and your pancakes collapse. It's not unlike Ramirez's early life. A shaky foundation can lead to disaster.
Exactly. Ramirez was born into chaos. El Paso, 1960, surrounded by trauma, abuse, and violence. Psychologists often note that repeated childhood trauma is the flour in the recipe for criminal pathology.
And just like skipping the right amount of baking powder leads to flat pancakes, lacking stability or positive influence in childhood can flatten any chance of healthy development.
Chloe, as you blend those dry ingredients, let's talk about the ingredients that shaped Ramirez. His cousin's violent war stories, a traumatic head injury. How do these mix into the psyche?
Like overmixing batter, constant exposure to violence and trauma creates a dense, tough personality. Neurological studies indicate early brain injuries are disproportionately common among violent offenders, increasing impulsivity and aggression.
It's a tragic parallel. The more you stir up chaos, the more unpredictable the outcome. Studies from the Journal of Forensic Psychiatry show a 40% higher likelihood of violent behavior among those with severe childhood adversity.
Which is why the right intervention, just like gently folding batter, can sometimes mean the difference between disaster and something wholesome.
Transitioning from childhood to infamy, Ramirez emerged in Los Angeles in 1985. Chloe, just as a pancake needs precise heat, what made this city such fertile ground for terror?
L.A. was a sprawling metropolis with thousands of unlocked doors, like a griddle waiting for batter. The city's summer heat mirrored the community's rising anxiety, making every shadow seem sinister.
He exploited randomness, no pattern, no predictability. It's like tossing pancakes without a timer. You never know when or where the burn will happen.
And like the suspense of the first flip, Angelenos waited nervously each night, not knowing if they'd be next.
Now, Chloe, people fear lumpy pancake batter almost as much as L.A. feared the Night Stalker. What's the science behind the perfect mix?
Lumps are your friend. Overmixing develops gluten, making pancakes rubbery, much like overanalyzing evidence can make investigators miss the big picture. You want a tender, delicate texture, achieved only through restraint.
So, subtlety is crucial, both in batter and in police work. In fact, forensic experts often warn against tunnel vision, which can toughen an investigation unnecessarily.
Exactly. Let the process unfold naturally. The beauty and horror are in the details.
Speaking of details, Ramirez's technique was anything but gentle. He used a variety of weapons and marked scenes with satanic symbols. Chloe, any culinary analogies spring to mind?
Absolutely. It's like experimenting with wild, clashing flavors. Sometimes you end up with an unforgettable dish. Other times, it's just chaos. Ramirez wanted his crimes to leave a lasting aftertaste. Panic, not just pain.
He cultivated fear as a kind of signature spice, much like a chef creates a dish that's instantly recognizable. Some criminologists compare his psychological warfare to performance art, albeit gruesome.
And just as a distinctive dish lingers in your memory, Ramirez's crimes haunted L.A. long after the sun came up.
Let's shift to the investigation. Detectives, like line cooks in a busy kitchen, worked under intense pressure. What parallels do you see between detective work and culinary timing, Chloe?
Both require reading subtle signs, like waiting for bubbles before flipping pancakes. Miss your window, and the opportunity is lost. The detectives had the obvious sneaker print and partial fingerprints, but timing was everything.
Exactly. Forensic science was evolving. APHIS fingerprint databases were brand new, analogous to a chef getting a state-of-the-art oven. It changed the game, but only if used at the right moment.
A single perfect flip, just as a single fingerprint, can be the breakthrough you need.
They say timing is everything. Chloe, you add blueberries just before flipping. Why?
If you add them too early, they bleed and ruin the batch, like premature arrests that taint a case. Dropping them in at the right moment produces perfect, juicy bursts. Similarly, the police's critical breakthrough came with Ramirez's fingerprint at just the right time.
The fingerprint was entered into APHIS, a leap in forensic tech. Suddenly, the Night Stalker had a name and a face. It's the equivalent of seeing that golden brown pancake emerge, a moment of clarity amid chaos.
When everything comes together at the perfect moment, you get the satisfying payoff, whether it's justice or a stack of perfect pancakes.
Let's talk about the endgame. Ramirez's capture was cinematic. Citizens, not police, brought him down. How does that communal effort resonate with you, Chloe?
It's like a kitchen brigade, everyone working together to prevent disaster. The citizens of East LA recognized Ramirez, chased him, and made that final flip happen. Justice, like a good pancake, is sometimes a team effort.
And that moment, when the crowd held him for police, was both cathartic and symbolic. The same people he terrorized took back control, a sweet, if bittersweet, victory.
It shows that, in both crime and cooking, the community can turn the tide from fear to satisfaction.
In the end, Ramirez died on death row, unrepentant, a bitter conclusion to a dark chapter. Chloe, how do you see the legacy of such events, and what's the culinary equivalent?
The legacy lingers, like the taste of good pancakes you reheat the next day. Trauma persists in communities, but so does resilience and the urge to find comfort. Cooking, like healing, is a process, sometimes slow, but always worthwhile.
So, as we digest both the horrors and the sweetness, what's your final serving of advice for our listeners, Chloe?
Lock your doors, cherish your comfort food, and remember, every story, dark or delicious, has its lessons. Next week, we'll serve up a new tale and a new treat with a side of perspective.